live, and then also we put it out as a podcast and whatnot too. So he's coming back now to push a couple more buttons, and then we'll be ready to go. And
I'll let you introduce.
Alrighty, we're back at Hoagie's Garage for take 3, and we're fortunate enough to have Aaron Reutzel on with us tonight. How you doing tonight, Aaron?
Oh, not too bad. Just finishing up here at the shop and getting ready to head home.
Oh, well, then we don't want to keep you too long, so we'll talk fast.
Did you get some snow down there?
Oh, we got quite a bit. I think we got 7 inches today, and yeah, it's been a lot. But we had a good winter up until this point. We haven't really got any. I think Texas had more than we had, so we're paying for it now.
Yeah. My son works at Iowa State, and he was supposed to go get some award today, and he couldn't go because they had to move snow all over the place. So I figured you guys got hammered there as well. So, Aaron, before we get into the racing part, tell us a little bit about yourself. You, wife, kids, just tell us some information.
How is this, a dating show? Or
Yeah, absolutely.
You never know with us, you know. We think we can't put you out on the dating circuit. Now, we have had guys tell us if they're cute, give me their number, but...
Okay. No, I don't know. So, 34, coming up 35 in May. My wife, Shelby, our 2 kids, Carson and Riley. Originally from Clute, Texas, just south of Houston. Live in Knoxville, Iowa now, and yeah, I don't know, pretty simple.
Yep.
I gotta say,
Okay.
I have 3 kids. Mia is my daughter, but then I have a Riley and I have a Carson, but they're both boys. But that's a little crazy. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
And so far tonight, well, you're the 3rd podcast, so we've covered the full spectrum, I could say, of ages of racing. Because we started out with Danny Smith, that was 67, and then Emerson Axum was 20, and now you're in the 30 range. So we've covered everything. So we should have everything covered tonight for our few fans that we have.
There you go.
How did you get started into racing, Aaron? How old were you, and what did you actually start with?
So I think I was probably about 5 or 6, and just kind of ran some. They called them cage carts. I don't really know what you put it to today, but kind of like the outlaw cart type deal, just 5 horsepower, bridge and strap. But my dad raced. My dad's from upstate New York, and he comes from. My grandparents would go to Lebanon Valley and stuff, and watch. They'd go out there all the time, so my dad was always around racing. Then my dad moved to Texas and started racing micros. So he was racing micros, when I come around, and so they got us he said a cage cart and raced that for a little while, and then got into the junior sprints. And then, moved into micros and ran micros for a long time. And I actually didn't get into a sprint car until I was 18. I think I think I was about to turn 19. So, way behind the ball where people are today.
Yeah.
Crazy, but, so then, I just ran the Golf Southdale for a little bit and National Tour, and then moved up to where we are now.
Yeah. So when you jumped into sprint cars, what was it, a 360, or did you jump right to a 410?
No, I started in a 360, and I actually didn't run a 410 until 2015. Yeah, 2015 for the winter heat deal. So I ran 360s for 5 years, 6 years, something like that. So yeah, it's kind of looking back, it's that's I'm fortunate enough to just be where I am now, and that's just all my parents did all they could do to get me to that point. So, definitely wanted to get into sprint cars and stuff a little sooner, but it's just not wasn't how it was going to play out, and it wasn't in the cards. And so, we finally got to run a 410 in 2015, and that was that winter heat deal in Yuma, and it was really, really, really good out there, and that just kind of opened some eyes, and that's really what got my career started.
Yep. So, just gonna warn you, don't say nothing bad about your sponsors, because I think John's watching according to my phone. So, just
Okay, I don't have one bad thing to say about John.
But I can't remember things very well ever. But one of my favorite races was at Huset's. You were up here, I think, in the '87 car yet, but. It was you and TK put on a show, and for some reason they had cut the bottom berm off at Huset's and just made it from the little cement barriers to the outside wall was just racetrack. And
Yep.
You guys put on a show in the feature, and when it got all done, I leaned over the wall off my push truck, and there was front tire tracks within a foot of that inside retaining wall. So I've never been that close. You're awful close to it at Huset's, but I've never been that close, and that was an amazing race to watch.
Yeah, I think if you ask John, that's John and Steve. That's the race that where I think they noticed me. So that race right there honestly that made my entire career. 18, like the 3 All-Stars, and to where I am now, because I would have never won the All-Star championships and all that if it wasn't for John and Steve. And so that race. Honestly, that one race made me.
Yeah. So what made you come up from Texas up to here? Because it was, at that time, it was just you as a car, your family car, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then we started the BRM deal, and they for the 18, 19, 20 years, and they wanted to run All-Stars. So at the time, we had the motorhome, and we were, so 2015, 15, 16, 17, we were still doing we did 15, 16, we did all the national tour races, and 17, we kind of jumped around. So anyways, we went to Lima, Ohio. That was where the shop they rented out of. It was a really good place to base out of for the All-Stars at that time.
Yep.
And they just rented the shop. So, we went that way, and the end of 18, they actually bought a shop in Knoxville. So, then we migrated this way, and my wife and I just kind of fell in love with the town, and not even so much for the racing part of it, just the kind of the smaller town living. It reminds me a lot of where I came from. Where I come from is not that way anymore. It's so overgrown now. Just Houston just keeps growing. So it's migrated its way all the way down. But smaller town living we like. And then if you need anything, you can just go up to Des Moines. And for me, racing, you can show up to Des Moines Airport 45 minutes before your flight takes off, and you're just fine. Well, you fly out of Houston, you better be there 2 hours early. so just the stuff like that we really liked. And then it was that deal ended. We went to the Roth deal, and the way the market was at the time. So we bought. So it was. That deal ended, and we were ready to get out of the motorhome. So we bought a house in Knoxville just because at the time interest rates were 2%. So we figured we'd be crazy not to buy a house. So we did that, and the schools here it's all so different than what it is at home. For us, it's better. We think all around it's better, just a different lifestyle. And we said, if I race or don't race, we're still going to stay and raise our kids here.
Sure.
Yeah. In case you don't know, Knoxville basketball team, the boys basketball team at Knoxville, I think they're undefeated. They're really good this year.
Yeah. That's what my kid Carson loves to go to their games when they're here. He played basketball this year, so yeah, he tells me all about it.
Yep.
So I have to ask, because I don't know how many of them, but I know, when they announce your name, you're still from Clute, Texas, and like they do David Gravel, he's from Connecticut, and he's lived in Florida forever. Do you guys ever change away from your actual hometown to where you moved to, or do you just stick with what started out in?
I mean, I think you should just stay where you came from. I mean,
I don't.
How weird would it sound if they said Terry Matson from Knoxville, Iowa?
Yeah, true. It would sound different, but I'm just curious because I've never, I've wondered different times, but
Yeah.
the little.
Yeah, I think it just stays where you're from.
Yep.
Yeah. The All-Star years, you won 3 in a row. I watched a little quick video of Chase Rodman talking about you, and he said the 3 years that you won it, that really wasn't even that close, points wise. You just had it rolling at that time, didn't you?
Yeah, it was crazy. Honestly, it was just so weird. Like starting the first year, I think our goal was to try to get 2 races and try to be like in the hunt for top 5 in points. And then, to go out there and I think we won 9 maybe. And then to win the championship, it was like, holy shit. That year was probably the most fun year because we went out and was running good and winning and we weren't supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And then now it's going to year 2 and now we got to prove it wasn't a fluke, and this and that. And so that year was pretty stressful for me. I've always just kind of been hard that way, but that was rough. But I mean, all in all, it was incredible. It was absolutely incredible how it worked out. Just adapted so quick, and I don't want to use the word it was easy, but it didn't ever seem like it was a struggle to find speed.
Yeah.
Where the last 2 years it really humbled me. Because, I mean, it didn't matter if it was Swank on the wrenches, it didn't matter if it was me on the wrenches, it didn't matter if it was a Maxim, if it was a J&J, if it was this motor, that motor. It didn't matter. We'd be fast one night, and it's like, all right, here we go.
Yeah, we got her now.
We got her now. And then you go to the next track and unload and be in the B-main. And not in the B-main because something happened, just because you were slow as shit. So it's incredible how it works. It truly is.
Yeah, well, racing on dirt will humble everybody at some point in time. I mean,
Absolutely.
look at the Outlaw show. Look at the guys that were taking provisionals to make the A's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the ones you expect them.
Harder.
Yep. It's just, it's tough. It's a tough business to be in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we just talk about it. We're not in it.
So Ridge and Sons comes along. How did you go from All Stars to Ridge and Sons and all this, racing at Knoxville all the time?
So then the BRM deal was coming to a screeching halt, and Roth called, and they offered what they offered me at the time. It was definitely my way to move on and do something else. So we took that deal, and and then all the shit happened. What did in the middle of the year.
Yep.
And at the time, even at the end of 2020, just kind of the way 2020 went, and my kids are in school full time, and so, like towards the end of middle of 19, my kids started going to school full time in Knoxville, and so then 2020, they're full time, you know, both in school, and Carson's getting into sports now, and you know, we're over there in the East Coast basically the whole time. So there's times, you know, I couldn't get back at all, and so I'm missing everything, and you know, the way 2020 was going on the management side, and this and that, it really burned me out. And anyways, long story short, I become to hate being on the road, and I took the Roth deal because I just needed to almost like don't know what to do next. So I took that deal, and I kind of went into that deal just still, you know, bitter about being on the road and missing my kids' stuff and this and that. So the whole deal happened, and so now I'm ready to quit. Like, all right, here's my out. I'm ready to move on with my life and do something else. And Brian calls me, and Brian don't give up. So he's blowing me up immediately as soon as the news breaks. And so I agreed to have a sit down with them, and well, wouldn't you know, we go to a Mexican restaurant and we're drinking the tallest beers they have.
You had a few too many.
And now we're having a good time and this and that, and just like the guy immediately. So I told him, I said, well, you know, so then I told him I don't want to go on the road and this and that, and he said, well, you know, we're from here, and racing around Knoxville is not like, he wanted to have an on the road team, but racing around here and doing a little bit of travel wasn't the end of the world. You know, we'll be home every week and this and that.
Yep.
Like, all right, I'll give her a go. Well, it went good. And what really changed a lot of it for me was, I mean, we've struggled a lot. We've had a lot of success, but we've also struggled a lot.
Yep.
You know, not even knowing which way to go, just totally lost. And he's still just happy-go-lucky and loves racing, and nope, no big deal. You guys will figure it out. And I've never been around that ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that turned a lot of it around for me. And honestly, Brian and Lisa and Austin, they made racing fun for me again.
Yep.
So the 3 years we ran around Knoxville and just doing this and that, and it got me away from it enough to reset and all that, and just kind of get the love for the sport back again. And so that's when this year come around, and the high limit deal, the way that they're running it and presenting themselves and just everything they got going for them, it just kind of was, yeah, let's give it a go. I'm back. I'm like reset.
Yep. Reinvigorated.
And the kids are a little bit older, and they probably love seeing Dad race.
Well, I didn't want to say it that way, but the kids are older, and you know they're getting to the point where they're old man and mom, they're not cool anymore. So,
No.
they want nothing to do with us, so I might as well go race.
See, I'm just getting back into being cool now because I got grandkids. They think I'm cool,
Yeah,
because
there you
they're
go.
the one's 3.5, so she thinks I'm cool.
Shelby and I we're out. We're not.
Yep.
We're not. We're their Uber drivers.
Yeah, pretty much.
You got that right.
Hey, we gotta go here tonight and there tomorrow, and
Oh.
so, and now this year, then you're starting out here right shortly in Texas, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah. We're gonna go to Texas to kind of just shake everything down. We're gonna go run. We got the car that we ended the year last year with. All we did was freshen it, and then we were down to 2 cars. So then we built 3 more. So we're gonna go down there and run run what would be the spare car that sits upstairs all year to kind of just make sure everything's about the same, and as good as we were at the end of last year, and we ran there 4 times, so got a really good idea of what you should feel and this and that there. So kind of just our go and test, and all right, and then let's get the year started.
Sure. And then to Vegas from there, right?
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll have to ask Steve. I'm riding down with Steve in his motorhome. I'll have to ask him about the race at Huset's and see what he says. We'll have time to talk on the drive down.
Oh.
Guarantee you he remembers.
No, I'm sure.
What are some of your most memorable wins?
Definitely the Tusky.
Yep.
That's probably the one that that'd be the first one that comes to mind. And then last year the Classic, that was a big one just because that's their Knoxville Nationals over there, and they have the crowd and the hype and just the way that they run the show. That it's honestly probably, if you brought that race over here and the way the crowd is and they pack the place and surround the place and just they carry on about it, it would probably be the second biggest race here.
Sure.
It's that big over there. So winning that one was really, really cool, and it was cool for me just because I built the cart here, and then I sent it over, and I just ran my package over there, and I was setting it up, and Bart, who's he's coming back here this year. Bart and I, we basically did it ourselves, and so that was really cool for me and him to go out there and do that. So that one's pretty damn special too. And then the 360 Nationals, that was another big one.
Yeah. Yeah, we say here in the garage that them Australian races, they're like an all day party for the fans, the way it looks. Some of them events, they're 6-7 hours long, it seems like at times, some of them races.
Yeah.
And
they are.
And they're just having a blast all day long, the way it looks.
Yeah, they sure are.
Sorry, bud.
Yeah. So, the plan's going high limit this year. Do you see yourself racing for a while yet?
I don't know. I have mixed emotions about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it all depends. It really does. I don't see myself losing a ride and then getting out my phone book and calling all the owners.
Sure.
I definitely don't see that, but if Brian continues to race for 5 more years or 10 more years and he wants to keep me around, then I'd gladly do that.
Yep. So you're
how much fun I have here, and how great we get along, and the way their mentality, but I definitely don't see myself, like I said, going and begging for a ride and then running 10th and getting a phone call asking why we suck.
Sure. Yep. So you don't, like, we just had Danny Smith on earlier tonight. He's 67, still running. He's still running series in Indiana or somewhere, Ohio, whatever. But
yeah.
So you don't see yourself doing that, you're saying?
No. He's a different breed. I love Danny. The first year I really went out on the road, I met Danny, and I met all them guys down in Florida where that's basically just a big party, and he'd be out way after all of us.
Yep.
and still get up and race the next day like nothing happened. So yeah, that guy's a different breed.
Yeah, well, that's where he's at right now. He's down in Florida. He's got the next 4 weeks yet. They're running 2 races
next 4
every
weekends
weekend.
or something like that. So, the Knoxville Nationals, you started on the front row. For a couple guys from Leicester, it's really cool seeing the Folkens brothers car, you know, on the front row of Knoxville Nationals. One of those races is going to go your way someday, don't you think?
I hope so. You know, that's yeah. I mean, I really hope so. That was you know, especially like the year before, where I think we were around fourth the year before, and you know, we had a lot of speed, and that was kind of a weird track that year where it was really fast and hard to pass. And so after that year, you know, I really was dedicated and watching older videos and, you know, try to get to Knoxville every chance we could, and felt like I put a lot into it. And then to start on the pole, I felt like that was our year, like missed opportunity kind of. But yeah, you know, they always say you have to lose one first, so maybe hopefully that was the one.
Yeah.
Lose the one to get that major desire, whatever you want to say, to win the next one, whatever. But yeah, it sucks to lose anytime you do it. But
87, was that your original number? And how did that number come about?
So my dad was 88, and I went one down. That is my original number.
Okay. That's awesome. And that's what you'll be running this year, won't it?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know how that worked with the charter and everything, if you had to keep the same number as Eliason's number last year, but I assume it's no big deal that you're running 87.
Yeah, no, we can change numbers.
Okay. That's cool.
See, we're learning things, bud.
Absolutely.
We'll forget them, but we're learning.
Other than Folkens Brothers, who are your main sponsors other than Ridge and Sons, of course, also?
On this deal?
Yeah.
So we've got Rasmussen's Truck Center. He's a really big sponsor of ours, and he does a lot. And then we got Bargain Barn out of PA. And he came on board. He normally helps us out just when we go out that way, and this year he's on for the full year. So really excited about that. And then I guess probably Lisa for allowing Brian to spend this much money. He's probably the main sponsor.
So I got to ask, because the Bargain Barn. I seen Bargain Barn in your store, and I said, God, is that Bargain Barn out of Sioux Falls? But now it's out of PA. So what is the Bargain Barn in PA? What is that business?
It's kind of just a resale shop. I hate to compare it as a Goodwill, but it's a lot like that.
Okay.
Just, you know, it's in between a Goodwill and a pawn shop.
Yep.
That's probably a good way to put it.
Yep. Got it.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Yeah. And I think a guy from up here by Laverne, Blair Natras, he helps you out a lot. Him and his wife in the pits, don't they?
Yeah, Blair's they're really, really big help, and it's kind of a shame that they helped me out tremendously in the 16, 17, 18 kind of 16, 17 tremendously, and then then we got out east, and Blair and Shelly, they're workaholics. So they kind of have a hard time traveling. They get out to the bigger races, and it was almost like the last 2 years like reunited, because they would come down almost weekly to Knoxville and go racing with us. So I kind of hitting the road again is a shame, because we always enjoy when they come and hang out, and they work their asses off when they come hang out.
Yeah, you can keep him busy.
Them two, they are workaholics. They go to the car wash. They'll be, if we want to get up early and start working, they'll be the first ones there. Shelly just starts grabbing panels and washing it. They're unreal.
Yeah.
You can get some good nights out of them yet at the Nationals, and I'm assuming you'll run the high banks at Houston's this year.
We do a lot of. the High Limit show is or the series. We do race around here a lot. So.
Yep.
And then we'll still be at Knoxville probably. I think it was like six weekly shows or something like that, and then plus the outlaw shows and stuff. So
Yep.
we'll definitely still be around. They'll be around quite a bit.
Keep Blair and Shelley busy a few nights anyhow.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're
Keep,
go-getters.
keep him
that's
from
for
pounding
sure.
nails once in a while anyhow.
He told us a story about buying an Indy car from Indianapolis. That was Blair, wasn't
Yep.
it? He had to first buy a trailer.
Had to buy a trailer.
Took
to
it
get
right off the lot to take his Indy car home. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
crazy.
It's hanging. He built a loft in his shop, and it's just sitting up in the loft
Yep.
on display.
Yeah, we haven't made it up for a tour yet. We're gonna go up there sometime. He's gonna give us a little tour of his
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's a nice place.
yeah. Well, we probably bugged you enough, Aaron, and we really appreciate your time. We're gonna just hit you up with these quick questions, and then we'll let you go. What's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Mint chocolate chip.
Okay. Cat or dog person?
Dog.
Do you have any hobbies outside of racing?
Golf.
Golf? Are you any good?
No, absolutely not.
All right, then we'll go golfing sometime. Then we can both suck. Bud can beat us both. How about a favorite movie?
Anything Adam Sandler.
There you go.
Can hardly go wrong with one of them. We need a good laugh. They're always fun.
Do you prefer snow or rain?
Since I got all the snow here right now, I'm gonna go with rain.
You got more than we got. We don't have 7 inches yet. You got it all today. We got probably 5 now.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, but if you're going to be stranded on an island, Aaron, what type of music would you have to have along to listen to?
Well, if I'm on an island, hopefully it's a tropical one, and if it was, then I'd go with reggae.
There you go.
Down in. Oh, hold on a second here. I
Okay.
got somebody commenting that says you're lying that you're pretty good at golf. Have you beat John or something golfing before?
I haven't got to go with John yet. I've been
Okay.
with him a few times.
Well, he's the one telling me that you're lying, so I don't know. We ain't gonna. Let's just put it this way: if we're golfing, Bud, we're not gonna put any money on it.
No, I think.
Hey, maybe I'm not good. Maybe I'm just better than him.
Do you have a favorite place to go out to eat?
Any good Mexican restaurant?
There you go.
They got one down in Knoxville, don't they? That's pretty decent.
Yeah, we got a really good one here.
So we're gonna try that. We have a tendency to get stranded at the Rib Shack there
Yeah.
north of the track when we go down for the nationals, but once we park the car, we seem to stay pretty close to the track. How about a favorite holiday?
Thanksgiving.
Food.
Yep.
What app on your phone do you use the most?
Google.
Okay. Lynn's your racer. We always ask this question too. But how many speeding tickets have you gotten in your lifetime so far?
Let's see. 4?
Oh, that's
Oh,
not bad at
that's
all.
a low number.
Yeah.
Some people say they have a whole garage wall. They could fill up the whole wall of a garage. What's the fastest you've ever gone in a car though?
On the highway.
Yeah, on the highway.
154.
That's
What
getting
were
up
you
there.
in?
Well, the 154 was in a Scotty McDonald from Dissolve Boy. He had I don't remember what the Corvette actually was, but he got it off the lot and took it straight to this company in Houston called Hennessy, and they put this big ass turbo in
Oh,
it.
yep.
Yeah, so that thing ripped. And then Austin here, he has a Tesla, and I've gotten that to 148.
Okay.
That's
I've heard of that
impressive.
Hennessy before. They make some hot rods out of things.
Oh.
Let's see.
Oh.
What's your go-to drink or beverage, Aaron?
Oh, well, here lately it's been Modelo.
Okay.
If you won the lottery or had all the money in the world, is there a car, pickup, boat, anything you've ever dreamed of owning?
Probably be a sport fishing boat. I'd just live on that.
There you go.
That would work.
Absolutely.
What are you fishing for when you go? What's your favorite?
Well, I would just live on just cruise around the coast, and if I've got that. But my favorite fishing is down out in the bays, just redfish,
Okay.
trout, or flounder.
Fishing for things we've never fished for because we ain't got off a lake or a river.
No.
Yeah.
Lake is the biggest thing we've ever done. From our village of 250.
Yep. 289 or something you told me now. It's growing.
Aaron, thanks for taking some time for chatting with us. We really do appreciate it. I think Vulcan's brothers love, hearing it too. I know John's on listening, so we just always been a big supporter of you, mainly because of the Vulcan's brothers, but we truly wish you the best.
Hey, appreciate for having me on.
And
All right.
I will be stopping down to say hi in Vegas when we're there.
Sounds good.
All right. Take
All right.
care.
See you guys.
Bye. Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah. We're all done. Now we can go home.